Here we go. Greetings, family. Welcome, welcome to the Sister Shanice Show live. And we've got a Sunday special today. So those of you who are regular to this channel, you will know that usually I go live on a Wednesday evening. And so today is very much a one-off, and I've got some wonderful special guests who are joining us this evening. And so please do put the live link out. I'm just going to copy the live link now and share it. Please do share the live link. Apologies to those who have been trying to reach us since 8 p.m. My mistake. I did intend to start at 8:30, and because I normally start at 8, I just said 8 on the flyer. I didn't change the time on the flyer. So we are live now, and looking forward to a really interesting conversation this evening. And if we get a chance, I'll put out the backstage link so that those of you who would like to join us backstage can actually do so as well. Okay. So please do share the link. And as you come through the door, please let us know that you're in the house. Hook us up in the chat. So let me go on my phone and be posting the live link. And in the meantime, we will have some of my guests who are in the house introduce themselves to you. And we're just going to keep it light, and then we're going to go into, our conversation today. We want to be sharing with you, what life is like in the Gambia, because almost everyone on this live today will actually be living here or have spent some considerable time here. And so, we feel that we're in the best place, to talk about the Gambia and share our experiences with you. But first of all, let me ask our sister Isna to introduce herself to you. Greetings, Queen. How you doing? Take yourself off mute.
Greetings, beautiful people. Thank you for having me, my sister. I appreciate the opportunity to come and take part in this discussion. I am a newbie to Gambia, so my experiences will not be as vast as many of the other guests. So I am grateful to be here and to share. My name is Isna Tianti, and I hail from Georgia and from the States.
Oh, welcome, welcome. We're going to come back around to you. We're going to find out a little bit about what life was like in Georgia, in the States as well. And on the audio, we have all the way from the UK joining us as the only male at the moment on the panel. Oh, Brother Jammers. Oh, he's just dropped off. Okay, welcome back to Brother Jammers. We have also from the United States, our sister Gabby joining us on the audio. Welcome, Sister Gabby. Please introduce yourself. Take yourself off mute and introduce yourself to the family. Okay, not sure what's just happened there. But we have been rejoined by Brother Jammers. So let's have Brother Jammers introduce himself to you. Some of you already know Brother Jammers. But Brother Jammers, are you there?
I'm here. I'm trying to find my my video. Okay, fine.
Yeah, put yourself on video so we can see you.
I'd like to say hello for everybody. I'm joining as someone who's not traveled for years, so I'll be very interested to find out the information, the correct information, rather than what's been going out over the internet. So it'd be good to get it from the source. And I'd like to thanks for being in the company of all these ladies as well. Thank you.
Lucky man. Yes, indeed. Okay. So we got a man in the house. Wonderful. And then he'll be able to share his perspectives on what we are saying as the women in the house. And we have all the way from Gambia also Sister Anne in the house. Rise up, rise up.
Hi. Hi, how you doing? And hi
Great
to
to
everybody
hear.
who is
We
tuning.
are well. Please do introduce yourself. Good to have you in the house.
Hi, thank you for that. Yes, I'm known in the Gambia as Binta, and I'm happy to be a part of the conversations that will be taking place this evening. And I'd like to, obviously, from my personal perspective, to clarify some of the news that is being given out on the YouTube. Certain
Oh, can
people.
someone put their phone on mute, please?
So
Internet.
I'm very interested to be involved in this conversation, and maybe in hope to set some of the records straight, and to also to put people a little bit more at ease with regards to the this sensational news that's been going out, very alarmist news as well. So thank you for that. I'm muting myself.
Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing from you, Binta. Let's go over to Gabby again and try Gabby's line. Welcome, Gabby. Are you there? Gabby, you're on mute at the moment. Please unmute yourself and let's see if we can hear from our Queen sister, Gabby. No, we're not hearing from Gabby. Gabby, your phone is on mute. If you could unmute, maybe that's what the problem is. Okay, well, we'll come back. We'll come back to Gabby. Gabby, just jump in as soon as you unmute, so that we can hear from you. Okay, she's going to come out and come back in again. Fantastic. And we've got Monica on the line. Greetings, Sister Monica. How are you doing? Greetings. I can see you're on the line there. Are you going to speak to us today? If you are, please take your phone off mute.
Oh, Grand Rising. Sorry about that. I'm a bit of a technophobe. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're coming through loud and clear.
Oh, lovely to be here. Thank you so much for doing this, because the news that's been going out has been rather concerning. So I'm really looking forward to getting the accurate information from the so-called horse's mouth. No pun intended. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, we didn't take it as a pun. We're no horses around here. Oh, rise up, Sister Monica. Thank you. So, are you going to be speaking at all, or are you just, joining us via Zoom and keeping in the background there?
I'll be in the background. I'll be silent listener.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm muting now. Thank you.
Okay. All righty. Delighted to have you in the house. So we've heard from Binta, Brother Jammers, Isna. Mom's in the background there. Sister Gabby, let's see if we can hear you now. Had a slight technical issue there before. Let's see if we can hear from Sister Gabby. No, not coming through yet. Sis, you might need to go out and come back in again. Oh, yes.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is playing up. It's cutting in.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings, Sister Gabby. I think you might need to go out and come back in again.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get it.
Okay.
We will get you. Please go out and come back in again. We've got someone else on the line. iPhone Yvonne, are you listening silently, or are you joining in the discussion? iPhone Yvonne? Okay, all righty. Happy for you to listen in the background there. Okay, so before we go into the discussion, we're just going to say a little bit about where each of us are actually coming from. All the females who you have heard introduce themselves to you are in the Gambia right now as we speak. And so we're going to go around the table and we're going to ask everyone to just maybe say a little bit about how long maybe they've been in the Gambia. Start with myself, Sister Shanice here. As you know, I spend sort of 7 to 8 months of the year in the Gambia, or definitely somewhere in the motherland. But been coming backwards and forwards from the Gambia for about a decade now. But I've been staying for long lengths of time for about the last 4 years or so. So, you know, I have a lot of experience of living here in the Gambia, and certainly looking forward to sharing with you all a little bit about what life is like in the Gambia. Okay, lots of information has been circulating recently, but we need to let you know what it's like, you know, here in the Gambia as a woman, and you know, yeah, how life is on a day-to-day basis, so to speak. Alrighty, so you'll be hearing a bit from us. Sister Queen Ishna, how long have you been in the Gambia for? And do you want to maybe say where you're hailing from, what life was like, where you're coming from?
Well, I am, as I mentioned, I wasn't born in Georgia, but that was my final state of residence prior to coming here in September of 2023. So I am probably the newbie of the crew coming to Gambia. And I will say I have had a plethora of experiences, but none that I would say were warranting me to want to leave. I have found it to be for myself. And I think, you know, for each person, they have their own experience. I'm at peace here. I do not fear going out. It has grown on me quite quickly. My first time coming here was in 2021, but I will say that I have traveled to various parts of Africa, and Gambia, I think when I was listening to one of the videos that my sister, who has transitioned, she said Gambia chose her. And I could say the same. I feel that Gambia was calling out my name, not so much where I had a vision that I was just going to one day end up in Gambia, but it definitely was a place that called me. So here I am.
A calling, beautiful. Sister Binta, Queen Binta, how long have you been in the Gambia for? Where are you hailing from?
Hi everybody. Yeah, so I feel like I've been saying 8 years for a while, but let's just stick with that number. So I've been in the Gambia for 8 years. I spent, well, the longest duration without actually going back to the UK has been maybe a year and a half during the COVID time. But I suppose my pattern is to go during the rainy season whilst it's here. So that's for maybe 4 months out of the year. And I came from the UK, and one of the things which I was speaking to someone today that I didn't do was to leave my sense of being cautious, being aware at the airport. So the same things that I would do in the UK in terms of how I live, it's the same senses that I brought with me here. So and yet, yeah, I feel very safe here, and I feel very content. So yeah, that's me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Queen. We will be back with you in a short while as well. Sister Gabby, let's hope we've got a better line from you. You're here, living in the Gambia. Share with us a little bit how long you've been here for and where you're hailing from. Give us a bit of a flavor. or maybe life where you're coming from and how you feel here in the Gambia. See if you can hear from Gabby. Okay, oh, experience some problems there.
Oh, hi. Okay, greetings. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're hearing you, Gabby, loud and clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh,
Can you
good, good, good. Yay, finally.
Hello.
Greetings, everyone. I'm glad that you're doing this. And I've been here about, I guess about 3.5 years now. And living quietly, peacefully here in the Gambia. I've had peace so far. And I really care about, I didn't know everybody that passed away, but the ones I did know, I truly cared for them. Really am going to miss them. And, it's really sad that they all happen at the same, so close together. But I feel that each of them at least got to live out one of their dreams, which was to live on the continent for any period of time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And we have our dreams, don't we? And some of us get to
Yeah.
realize our dreams. And one of the big dreams that many of us have is to set foot on the motherland, is to spend some time on the motherland. And yes, all of those who've recently transitioned did get that opportunity to do that. Before we go there, let me give Brother Jammers an opportunity to just introduce himself and, see if there's a question he might want to ask us by way of opening remarks. Welcome, Black Brother Jammers.
Greetings, everyone. Unfortunately, my experience with Gambia is just that tree in the background on the picture. So I really, as I said, I'm sure. I wonder if you've got the right person now. Maybe it's Edison you should have got here. But I'm really interested to find out, all about Gambia and traveling, what we need to do to travel, and make sure that everything's done in the right perspective, so things don't get misconstrued. So I'm really looking forward to this discussion. And if I can contribute as well, I'll contribute as best I can. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Let me just go over to the chat just to see if we've got the family in the house, and let's hear what they have got to say. So we want to welcome you. If you're watching us live, put a message in the chat. Let us know that you're there. I can see we've got Matt in the house saying greetings, sisters. We've got Kingdom Collectives in the house. We've got Malcolm X in the house. We've got Maxine in the house saying good evening. Rise Up Osor, good to have you in the house. Rise Up Productions, good to have you in the house. Ambush Predator saying hello from St. Catherine's in Ontario, Canada. Rise Up Sister Afrijamo in the house. Roxy's in the house from the UK. So come on, family, let us know that you're in the house and that you're actually watching us. Sister Bernadette is in the house. Rise Up, Bernadette, all the way from the UK, from Phenomenal Black Women. Great to have you in the house. Hey, who's this gentleman we've got in the house here? Stedman. Someone's been giving out the the wrong link. Stedman, if you can join us via YouTube, please, that would be great. If you let me put the YouTube link in the chat, and Stedman, if you can join us via YouTube, that would be great. Okay, so I'm just going to put the YouTube link in the chat. So those of you who are in here now at the moment, but only coming to watch, not to talk, only coming to watch, I'm going to post the link for you in the chat. Grab the link from the chat and then you can watch us live on YouTube. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, yeah, hit us up in the chat. Let's know that you're in the house. Rise Up Samantha from London. Sisters Internationals in the house. Cynthia's in the house. Brilliant. Oh, we've got the London lady in the house, Joanne. from the UK. Quite a few people from the UK in the house, and Sisters International is from the Gambia as well. Welcome, welcome. So, first of all, I think let's share a little bit about maybe life in the Gambia and compare it to where we were coming from. I'm from the UK, and I know it's really cold in the UK right now. Everybody's like complaining about how cold it is out there. But yeah, it's really hot here in the Gambia. Absolutely beautiful weather, beautiful people. It's called the Smiling Coast of the Gambia because, you know, a lot of people here are genuinely, you know, very friendly and very nice, and more so than you would get in the UK. So people in the UK, they go around and they hardly talk to you. People hardly talk with each other in the UK. And, you know, that's just the way they are. It's a bit cold, but out here, you know, it's a very friendly, warm type of atmosphere and environment. In fact, today, you know, there was about 35 of us together on a boat trip, which was absolutely beautiful. That's the sort of thing that you want to do over here. You go on boat cruises on a Sunday, or you go to the beach. You know, it's an outdoor lifestyle. And most of us actually come, you know, to the Gambia because, you know, it's a totally different way of life. You're here in the motherland. You're here with your own family, your own people. Everywhere you look, there's people who look like you. You don't get the stresses and distresses that you get, you know, in the West. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful place to come and to be. That's, you know, how I feel about the Gambia. And I don't want people to know that you can come and get that wonderful, warm welcome and warm feeling and experience here in the Gambia. So also what's beautiful about here is that you've got sort of an extended family, the extended family of the diasporans who have come over from America, Jamaica, Canada, the UK. You know, it's like one big family. It's beautiful, you know. So that's where I want to start. Let me go around and see where Sister Queen Binta, where would you like to start? What's your sense of feeling about the Gambia? There are many people who are watching who've probably never been to the Gambia, don't have a feel for the Gambia, other than maybe what they may have read recently. But, you know, how do you feel about it? You've been here like 8 years, so go ahead. Oh, you're on mute. Please unmute.
Hi. Yeah, so I want to paint a picture where I walk 12 minutes from where I reside onto a sandy beach where there's palm trees and coconuts. And I have to pinch myself because this is usually a 2-week break for most people for their annual holiday. And I have to pinch myself that I actually live here. This is my reality. And it's not because I'm special, it's just because I made a decision in my life to be here. And I'm really grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful to be living this existence. As Sister Shani said, we've just come from the River Gambia, sailing along on this boat, playing sweet music, eating jerk chicken, if you do. I don't, but and laughing and talking. And this is the community of people that we also live with and share time with and share laughter with and happiness. So I'm saying this, yes, it might sound fantastic, but it's actually real. It's our lives. It's what we are living. And I want to kind of give that, to set that picture in people's minds, to dispel some of the negativity that I believe has been pushed out there onto people. So yeah, my experience.
Mm. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Queen. And, I hope you're feeling the warmth as well, family, that we feel from being here. Because when we're in the UK, the image that's painted of Africa is very derogatory, isn't it? I mean, people are thinking, you're going to walk down a road and the lion's going to come up behind you. Or, you're going to have to be dodging, giraffes or what have you. But no, it's a city, may not be as developed as, say, London is, but to me, it reminds me of how Jamaica was, say, back in the 80s. And look at Jamaica now. It's a developing country, and, it's a country where, in all the time that I've been here, I've felt totally safe. It's beautiful. Let's go over to Queen Isna. Queen Isna, I know you're the newbie on the block, but, what's the image of the country that you would like our family who are watching to get the feel of and sense of?
Well, I can honestly say when I first came in 2021, I absolutely was, I felt welcomed. I felt that there was a sense of community, and it wasn't even with the individuals from the diaspora at that time. I literally had connected with other poets here on the beach. We did a bonfire. We shared poetry. And even when I didn't understand the dialect spoken, I could hear the poetic expression of the passion. I didn't come as a tourist even then. There were a lot of things that I didn't come. I wanted to really immerse myself with the individuals in the villages. And when I say villages, compounds, because if you say the word village, people are going to automatically think about huts and, whatever that visual is. But I literally I felt home. And I was given a vision to come back. I didn't know it would be as soon as it was. It was less than 3 years. And I have had an opportunity to meet people who are natives here, people who are from other parts of Africa here. And I do not have to, and I'm military. I'm not always looking over my back or feeling like when I see the police that I'm getting nervous. And those were feelings that I had when I lived in the States. I have had situations where some of the trauma associated with being in the States, I can see some ways that the triggers are becoming fewer. My peace of mind is becoming greater. And yes, I'll just say this. I don't want to paint rose glass mirrors for anyone who, anywhere you go, you will be challenged because you're coming into a place with different customs and different traditions that are contrary or different than your own. So you are, as you're trying to make your transformation and get immersed in any culture that you didn't grow up, there's some bumps in the road, but just like they're fixing the roads here, some things have to get bumpy before it gets better. And there's a process to progress in any state or any place that you go. So I think it's unfair for many to paint the Gambia as a place where you just aren't safe based on happenings that are happening everywhere. It's unfair. And so I did want to make that point, that I think it's not wise to paint any place as an unsafe place. The world can be and feel unsafe. However, I believe that when you surround yourself with people with like minds and like goals, you can get to that space and place where you feel at one with where you are and the decisions that you made to go where you go. So I hope that helps somebody, because I sleep peacefully here, even with everything that has gone on. And God rest the souls of our sisters who have transitioned. I do not want to negate that or overlook that. may their souls reign in power, yet at the same time, we're here for a purpose. And I believe that if we can let the individuals know who are listening to your live, that Gambia is no more unsafe than any other place that you may reside. And I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you so much, Queen. Wonderful. Let's go over to the audio, those in the audio. Let's see. Oh, we've lost our sister Gabby, who was there a short while ago. Okay, hopefully she'll come back. She's having some challenges with her internet. And Brother Jammers, we've just lost him there as well. Okay, I'm just downloading a video actually or two, but because I'm in Zoom, it's taken a long time because I wanted to share with you what, say, today was like, you know, in the Gambia, and just show you one or two pictures. But, you know, yeah, Gambia is a really beautiful place. And, you know, as our sis was saying, you know, anywhere you go in the world, you know, you're not going to throw caution to the wind. You're going to still be, you know, sensible in how you conduct yourself and where you go at what time, you know, and especially, you know, as women and single women, you're going to do that, you know, in London. You know, if I'm walking around at night, you know, I'm not going to maybe have my mobile phone out. I'm not going to be walking through the park late at night on my own. You know, I'm not, you know, you use your common sense in terms of safety, and you would do that anywhere you are in the world. I mean, one of the things I must say about here in the Gambia is that, you know, what's made me feel extra safe is that there's a lot of checkpoints, police checkpoints. And, you know, when you're going in the Gambia, say, driving down the road, there'll be a police checkpoint. They'll stop the car. They'll see who's in the car. That if there's a woman in the car, they'll always make sure that the woman's okay. You okay, ma'am? Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Okay, good, good. You know, and they make a note of who they see and who you're with, and they get to know you on certain routes as well. If you have to drive regularly through checkpoints, you know, you get to know the local soldiers, you get to know the local police, they get to know you, you know, and you greet them and they greet you, and they always make sure that, you know, they want to hear that you're safe and you're okay. And that's really something that you don't get in the UK. You see the police in the UK and they're stopping you, you're in trouble. You could find yourself being tackled to the ground. They don't really show you any care at all. In fact, you know, if you have a problem, you have to worry about calling the police to come to your assistance. And that's, you know, life for most of us being, you know, people of color in the UK. And so when I compare the support that you get from the police here to the sort of disservice that you get from the police in the UK, there really is no comparison. And so, you know, I think it's really important for people to know that, you know, the police are on side here. If there is ever an incident, if there is ever a problem, you know, the police will do their utmost best. I mean, they don't have the sort of cutting edge technology that they do in the West, you know, but with the limited resources they have, they are out there as the police to, you know, try and provide the best support that they can for you. And I'll come back to that, you know, when we touch on a couple of the cases, because, well, the police in the Gambia need to be commended, I think. So, you know, that's just to say about a little bit about, you know, the extra safety that you get from the police force here in the Gambia. Let's see if our sister's managed to come back on. No, she hasn't come on yet. Okay, we'll keep going. Gabby, when you can come back in. And Jammers, when you can come back, do come back in as well. Just to say that, you know, some of you may well have heard about a few of our sisters who sadly passed away. And I want to, you know, start with the earlier ones that passed away, because there was some misinformation going out, because yeah, death meets us wherever we are. That's what I want to say about death. If there's one thing that we can all be sure of in life, and that is that we're gonna die one day. None of us are gonna live forever. Not even the Queen could have lived forever. Yeah, one day we're all gonna die. We all, obviously hope that we're just gonna pass away peacefully in our sleep. And many of us will, and some of us, will meet a tragic end. There's, I think, only two ways that you can go, peacefully or tragically. But either way, you are going to go. What's really, really important is that, you live your best life every day. And, you work towards fulfilling your purpose while you're here. Don't go and leave this place without fulfilling your purpose. The Creator gave you skills, He gave you talent, He's given you a mission, and you're here for a purpose. Make sure that you fulfill your purpose. Our sisters who have gone before, was doing amazing work. Each and every one of them were doing phenomenal works, and at a pace, as if they were going to go soon. And the other thing to say about coming to the motherland is that, unfortunately, for most of us, we have to work most of our years in the West before we're able to afford to come to the motherland, before most of us can retire and come to the motherland. And so what happens is, after you walk out yourself in the West, and stress out yourself in the West, and you go through all the trauma and everything else in the West, by the time you come to the Gambia, say, or to Africa, there are many of us who are older in years and, not in the best of health. And that is, the reality. Some come knowing that they're not in the best of health, but they've come to live out their days here while they still have breath, and some have come and maybe developed, and maybe had symptoms of ill health, but that ill health is developed, since they've been here. So, I'm aware that in another country, because I was in a sisters meeting not so long ago, and in that meeting, there were sisters who had repatriated to Ghana, to Tanzania, to the Gambia, and maybe other African countries. And, I was learning that in one of these African countries, what was noticeable is that few people from the diaspora have actually developed mental health problems. Now, that is not something that really Africa is equipped to deal with, and there are some other types of sicknesses that Africa is just not equipped to deal with. And so, if you do fall ill in abroad, then you need to know what actions to take or need to be taken. And this is something that we're finding out about. We're finding out about, the services that are available should you fall ill, and what needs to be done in an emergency. These are things that we realize and recognize that we need to have in place. And so, we're having the conversations about that. But, I've had some sisters here who I got to know very well, got to love. They were part of my extended family, who passed away due to ill health. There was some speculation that it may have been these earlier deaths were suspicious, but they weren't. They were individuals who had ill health problems, and their deaths were related to ill health. I don't know how much to say about each of them, because there were 4 women who passed away due to health problems. We knew of their health problems, and we know their health problems. And so, when there was speculation about why they had passed, to be honest, I didn't pay attention to it because I knew the real reasons. But those on the outside who didn't know the real reason for their passing may have, picked up on, some concerns that were being expressed, that maybe there was something untoward, maybe, there was some pattern or some suspicion around what was happening. Those early passings, Queen Aisha, do you want to say anything on those early passings? Queen Isna, would you like to comment on the passing of any of our beautiful queens? Okay, our sister's taking herself off mute, and then she'll be able to join us. You're on mute at the moment. Okay, you're still on mute.
I don't think that I'm in position to talk about whether or not the sisters' passings were natural causes, or I didn't know them. I never met them, so it would be premature for me to speculate one or the other, and I don't want to do that. I do know that what we have heard about the latest was foul play, but even with that, I don't know the particulars because I'm very careful. Even prior to coming, while I'm here, I'm very particular about the information that I put in my eye gate and my ear gate. Not to say that I'm one that tucks my head in the sand so that I see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, but I definitely do not want to project falsities when I don't know the as you mentioned, you knew the individuals. And I think my purpose on here today is really to speak to the fact that in lieu of those deaths, as you mentioned, death can happen various ways. And I know that to be the case due to having to experience the death of my own father, but it was due to health ailments, even just this past January. So I say this only to say that we have to be vigilant, but we also have to be what you mentioned here to fulfill the purpose and the assignments that we've each been given, and to not allow naysayers or individuals who may not have all of the facts but are going off of what they believe or what they heard without having foreknowledge of what these sisters have endured prior to coming. So I want to be very careful not to perpetuate information that I myself have not been privy to. I do want people to understand and understand that it is definitely our due diligence to just be here, learn what we can learn, be taught what we can be taught, and as much as we can, immerse ourselves in this beauty. I think Gambia is beautiful. I have to say that. I think it's a beautiful place. But just as I mentioned before, as beautiful as Gambia is, it can only be as beautiful as the people. And the people in it, I think if we want to see change, we have to be the change. And I communicate with my neighbors. I think I have little children who like climbing over my fence. And even with that, I have conversations with them. And I believe when we open up the portals for communication, not just with diasporans, but even those that we came to connect with. I think that when we begin to really have heart-to-heart communication with our brothers and sisters here, we really will begin to see that just much like we were colonized in our countries, prospective countries, whether it be UK, USA, Jamaica, or any other. We have to understand that the natives here have been colonized as well. So there's a sense of sensitivity and empathy that we must have for each other. And I don't want to be loquacious, but I think it's really the conversation about not are we safe, but what are we doing to make it safe? I'm not really want to focus on problems. I'm like, what are solutions? Let's be solution oriented in all our getting. Let's get an understanding and an understanding. But I'm not one to focus on problems. What are solutions? What can we do to connect better, communicate better, show love more, where we're not looking like we fear them and they should fear us. I believe that this is conversations that need to take place, and we cannot ostracize ourselves and be separated as if we're putting a divider between us and the natives here, as if we're separate. We came to unite. And I think as best as we can, I'm not saying we're just going to be friendly Susie all over the country, just, hey, hi and everyone. But when there are opportunities to have dialogue, I think it's necessary that we do, so that we can express our truest sentiments with our brothers and sisters and let them express too. I think that's one of the solutions I'm looking for, so that there's no fear developed, because where there's fear, there is a lack of faith in our safety. But I digress.
Oh, no, that's absolutely fine. Thank you so much. And, quite rightly put as well. Yeah, if you didn't know the details surrounding the earlier four, then, quite right, not in a position to say. And what you went on to say about the importance of unity and oneness, integration, etc., absolutely endorse all of what you said there. And let me go over to our Queen Binta in the house. Binta, welcome back. Let's hear from you. I don't know the extent to which you knew any of the beautiful queens who passed recently. Obviously, we had the four who I knew passed due to health problems. And then, of course, recently we all know of the tragic incident involving one of our queens. And as we know, tragedy happens everywhere in the world. We're not saying that Gambia is in any way different from any other country, but tragedy happens everywhere in the world. And we were all hit, hard by the tragedy that impacted our community and what happened to our sister recently here in the Gambia. If I look to the UK, there's murders happening every week in the UK, for example, but we all don't go running and leaving the UK, do we? Queen Anne, let's go over to you here.
Hi. Yeah, I love what Sister Ishna was saying. What I feel is, can you hear me?
Yes, hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, brilliant. I feel, and I suppose this is why I'm here, why I wanted to join this conversation, because I feel that the people that were putting out this information on YouTube or other social media, had they had this stance whereby they wanted to take time to find out more, to investigate more, to learn more, and to speak from a position where they were being honest enough to say, well, we ourselves don't know these women. We don't know the true circumstances under which they might have lost their lives. So let's not speak too much on it. And when we do speak on it, make sure that we're letting people know exactly how knowledgeable we are on these subjects, and not to make it seem as if we are the oracle on these subjects, that we're speaking from this truth that is unquestionable, and then starting to create stories that are not based on the truth, because they were not in a position to know the truth. And this is why I suppose I'm really here, and why I'm joining this conversation, because I was annoyed and I was upset that these people took it upon themselves to sensationalize, and to me, I feel like they did a disservice to these women by not giving them their individual story, but trying to clump these women together as if to say there was some conspiracy theory, or some person attacking Black women who have chosen to come to live here. And I thought it was all done to get likes and subscriptions on their little YouTube channels. And it made me very angry that they would take people's lives and not give them the respect that they warrant by belittling them even in their deaths, by just not allowing them to be individuals and trying to understand what happened to each of these women. And this is what I think was really, really disrespectful and unfair, and I wonder, what was the intention behind of this scaremongering? What were they trying to achieve? And how do they think that they have been helpful in any way to Black women who have chosen to come to live in Gambia? How were they being helpful? Because we've heard that at least one person spoke today saying that they'd cut their journey short here, and was going back to the UK, and because they were fearful. And is this the intention of these people, to put fear into people based on what? Not the truth, just some sensational stories that they've created. Why? What could they possibly choose to gain from that? Other than, I don't know, I think it's very petty, likes and subscriptions. And you're putting out all of this propaganda just for that. I think it's shallow. And this is what I really wanted to come on to say, that, I was disturbed by it. Why? Because even my own family were calling me up, concerned about my well-being, my safety. So, people even abroad were being worried for me because of what they were listening to and hearing on these things. And as we've said, Gambia, like anywhere else at this particular time, in 2024, the whole world has got issues going on with recessions, with lack of work, jobs, and all the other things that we can think of that has an effect on crime and health and mental health and all these other things. It's not just Gambia, it's everywhere. So we need to, yes, we need to consider that whilst we're living here. And as the sister said, living anywhere, we've got to think about being safe, being happy, being whole, and so I suppose, this is what I really wanted to say. I think I've said all that I want to say. So I shall pass you back over.
Yeah, thank you so much. It did need to be said. I too was getting calls and messages from all around the world, friends in Ghana, Jamaica, the UK, like, what's going on in the Gambia? What's going on in the Gambia? I'm like, what's going on in the Gambia? I don't think some of us realize the power of social media and, you know, how quickly misinformation can spread. I've got a message here from Sisters International, and it says, women who are here and some coming are in fear because of the false narratives on YouTube. And so, you know, we have to take responsibility, don't we, for what we put out there and not, you know, condemn an entire country because of one incident, as bad as that incident is. Because if we look to all the countries where we are, you know, we can find, you know, that it's not isolated. A tragedy and a tragic incident isn't, you know, limited to one country at all. We've got Sister Rahima in the house, who's also living here in the Gambia. Rise Up says, thank this sister so much, Isna. Tani, very, very, very good. Thank you, she says. Let's go over to Brother Jammers. Brother Jammers, you're not in the Gambia and you're a man. You've been listening to us women speak for a while. You may have some questions. You might want to make some comments or some statements. We welcome you to join us.
Right, thanks. Yes, it's been very interesting hearing what's been said and the situation where we're at. And I think what we have to look at as well is that we are now displaced Africans living it from the UK's perspective and from the US. And now we are a new pioneer generation. You know, this is something, it's a new aspect of returning displaced UK and from America, going back to the motherland. So it's a mission, especially as from the UK, we had the Windrush generation who came, you know, we know the first boats were made by Africans. So to be a real, true African spirit, you know, that is one of, you know, perseverance. It's one of discovery. It's one of bringing the spirit of the ancestors to the forefront, especially for returning to Africa. You know, we can only sort of give credit to those who have gone before us, you know, because they're breaking new grounds. So we have to really be clear-minded in what's transpiring for us. It's not a static state. It's a new age of discovery, especially, you know, for us as returning Africans and to those who are seeing us there. You know, we have a different level of being in the belly of the beast to know what we're encountering. And then we're encountering things when we go back to the motherland that we expect everything to be perfect in a certain way, or going there like we're going into a dream. You know, we have to keep our eyes that this is a catastrophe that's affected both us that have been displaced and those in the motherland. You know, and sometimes we could be going back and encountering a situation that those in the motherland are just as badly damaged as those here. So we just have to be clear with what's transpired. And of course, those who have passed through whatever reason, you know, we just have to, you know, it's a horror for everybody, especially the family. So we have to keep the memory strong, but we have to be clear, you know, and take each case, as the sister was saying, as clear facts, because we can't lose track of our mission, of what we really, the end goal. What is the end goal? You know, and Dr. Abu always plays it on his show, the eagles and the chickens, you know. So, you know, we've got a choice, and I'm sure everybody who's gone there, you know, do you want to be a chicken, or do you want to try and at least fly once as an eagle, you know? So, you know, we have to, and we have to look at the successes. Andrew Mohammed, you know, Sister Angie, Agatha Tours, there's people, you know, that they are, and this is what we have to build on. You know, other nations, when somebody makes a move, they get the full support behind them. But here, when we make a move, you know, it's like we creating competition, or we're creating enemies for making that move. And the only support we get is when we pass, and then everybody says, yeah, they was a good person. So we, you know, as a pioneer, you know, we're not the new pioneers. You know, this is a new thing that's happening now. So I just like to commend everybody who's gone out there, you know, everybody who's in this meeting, everybody who's listening. But these are the steps that we have to take to restore us as a nation. You know, if you've been displaced, you know, the only way you can in your life, in your journey of life, is to try in one way to get back home. You know, so I'm just once again listening, and I just like to thank everybody for all their comments. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Jammers. You're right, and that was so powerfully put. We are the new pioneering generation. In our parents' generation in the UK, the Windrush generation, they were the ones who returned to the UK and built the UK. Their Labour built the UK after World War II, put England back on its feet. And we, the first generation and second generation of that Windrush generation, are the ones who are returning back to the motherland now, and we know from having lived in the belly of the beast that if they had the best interest of Africa at heart, Africa would be as developed as the West is. But the reality is that they want to see the West develop, but they certainly don't want to see Africa developed. And this pioneering generation, is pioneering a movement where we're returning to Africa, and with the skills and the knowledge that we have from living in the West, we have the potential to transform Africa to becoming, a first world country and overtaking even, countries like the West that are actually sinking. And so, this is a powerful movement that's happening, and we shouldn't underestimate, the fragility of it as well, and how misinformation can actually maybe unintentionally sabotage that movement. And we have to be mindful as well that in anything that we do get, those who don't have the best interests of our people, and some of them even look like us, who intentionally or unintentionally could be undermining, this movement as well. And so, yeah, we do need to take responsibility, greater responsibility, I think, for everything that we say and do. There are many Africans from the UK and from America who are here in the Gambia and in other parts of Africa as well. And can you imagine the impact globally that this is going to be having on the West when we all leave and take our pensions and our earnings and our savings with us? And we're maybe even selling up and relocating and bringing all those funds to Africa. It's going to make a huge economic benefit for Africa, and it's going to have a dent in the budget of the West. So, is that something they're going to want to see happen? We have to ask ourselves these questions as well. I want to rise up, eyes wide shut. She's saying, do share a list of African-run accommodation rentals in the Gambia so that people living in the diaspora can utilize when they are traveling to enjoy the Gambia. So circulating the Black Pound. Yes, and that's something that maybe we need to do here while we're here as well. Put such a list together and make that list available to our people who want to come and be home and grounded here on the motherland with people who look like them and want to contribute in some way. I mean, when our parents went to the UK, oh my gosh, they went through hellfire. The people who were there didn't want them there. The racism that they experienced, but still, still they stayed and they delivered, and transform the country. And so there's that resilience that we're going to have as a people, through thick and thin. We're going to have to know that we have a role to play in contributing towards the development of Mama Africa. We can't wait for others to come and develop Africa. They don't want to see Africa develop. It's up to us, and there's going to be, distractions, and there's going to be incidences and tragedies maybe that's going to try and make us want to run back, to the so-called safety of the UK. But you go to the UK and any prison in the UK, full up of our people. You go to any mental institution in the UK, full up of our people, full up of our very talented and highly skilled individuals who could be contributing towards the development of the motherland, but they chose to stay there, and look what happened to them. Let's go over to Queen Ishna and bring her in. Brothers, Jammer has made a phenomenal contribution. Isna, you know, what do you have to say in response to what Jammers or myself has had to say?
What you are saying is so true. I think when you see a surge of any kind, and what I do believe is it's a compliment in the biggest form to have it be a title, Black women, whether from whatever country you're coming from, Black women coming to Africa, single. Can you imagine what that really is stating? That you have Black women who are fearless, who are brave and courageous to leave behind family, friends, homes, jobs. It is a deterrent, I believe. It is being used as a deterrent when, in fact, I believe it should be used as a catalyst to see that what was stated would happen. Even spiritually, I'll just say that we would return back to our native land, that the women are spearheading a lot of this, unafraid. And when I say unafraid, it isn't that fear is the absence of having concern, not having, like I say, concerns, but our concerns, despite them, we still came. Despite them, we're still building. And despite the debts, we cannot run. I know for my sake, I am tired of running. I'm not running. I didn't run from America. I relocated back to the land in which I know I came, like many of us. And so to say, or to have headings, are Black women safe in Gambia? With all due respect, Black women ain't been safe nowhere.
True talk, sis.
So what are we doing writing safe in Gambia? Just say, are Black women safe in the world? Because we've not been safe in the world, but safety is subjective. Just like the women in Ghana, whoever's single there, they may feel safe or not safe, but do not put it as if Gambia. My dad gave me permission to come to Gambia. My daddy researched Gambia before he transitioned, and he said, baby, you go ahead. I didn't looked it up. They ain't had no coups. They haven't had any wars. It's a peaceful place. And I said, Daddy, you are absolutely right. My daddy gave me his blessings to come to Gambia. Even in my dad's illness, I came to Gambia. I didn't leave to go bury my dad in the States, but I did bring his ashes here. And I say that respectfully, that we are not trying to close a blind eye to anything. So I hope that people are not trying to project that, oh, the women are just being naive and they're not looking. I thank God for our families calling us to check on us for our safety. But if I were in Ghana, if I was in South Africa, I would appreciate my family checking on me. But I felt more unsafe when I went to South Africa. I felt more unsafe, honestly, when I went to Ghana. And I'm not trying to put a negative umbrella over any of it. I'm talking about my personal experience. So it is personal. And so take it for such. Don't make people try to make another person's story your story. And if you are going to run because of debts, guess what, family? We're going to always be running.
That's right.
We're not runaway slaves. And at some point, we have to realize that wherever you find your peace, let that be your place of peace wherever it is. Let's not judge where you find your peace. If you found it here, praise due to the Most High. If you find it in Ghana, praise be to the Most High. Where at Tanzania, Rwanda, wherever it is for you. But please don't put a negative light on those of us who found it right here in Gambia.
Ashe, Ashe, rise up, Queen. Brother Jammers, was that your voice that I heard there? Did you want to jump in? Okay, I see I've got.
It wasn't my voice, but I fully endorse what the sisters has said.
Okay, Sister Gabby, I can see you're back in the house. Let's try your line now. See if we can hear from our Sister Gabby. Take yourself off mute, sis.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you. It's a little
You hear
choppy,
me?
but we're
Okay,
hearing
good.
you. Go ahead. Welcome.
Okay, good. I'm so glad you could hear me again. I just wanted to say I completely agree with what Sister Ben. So true that, you know, we chose to come here. We find our peace here, and anything can happen anywhere to anybody. I really wanted to put that out there. You know, it's on a swivel, yes, but it was really bothering me also that people were throwing shade on the Gambia and those of us who chose to relocate to the Gambia. You know, all those incidents are unfortunate, but they're not necessarily connected, you know? And it's not, what else was bothering me was I saw a couple of videos where people were saying, oh, it's you strong, independent Black women, you know, running off somewhere, you know, and part of what caused any of this situation either. You know, there's nothing wrong with your relationship status, whether you choose to be married or single. I think what we have here is a good sisterhood network that works. And it doesn't matter if you're married or single, but it's good to connect with your sisters. And we have that here. We have sister groups that connect with each other on a regular basis, even if it's just your small circle of 3 or 4 friends, or, you know, larger circles of sisters. We have that. And sorry, I have so many things like flowing through my head at the same time, but I'm just gonna say things happen to men too that I've heard about, traveling in other places, and also the places where we came from, like Sister Isna said, where, you know, I came from Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of bad things were happening there. Still happens there on a regular basis. I still get some of the news from the US, and it's a lot of terrible things happening there. So I don't appreciate people throwing shade on the Gambia because of these incidents. They are unfortunate incidents, yes, but I'm glad they arrested the dude in the one case that was violent. I'm glad they arrested that guy, but that shouldn't throw anything sour on the rest of us and the rest of our experiences here, you know? That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. And I think it's really important, as you said there, you know, to make everyone aware who's not in the Gambia that, you know, those incidences were not connected. The recent deaths among our sisters was not connected. They were all individual, separate circumstances. Each of them were. The most recent one was tragically violent, and the police acted swiftly and quickly and apprehended the person who was responsible. You know, there are so many unsolved murders in the UK. You know, when Black women get murdered in the UK, or Black women go missing in the UK, you can hardly get, you know, the police to even take the matter seriously. But the police were on it here in the Gambia. And I want to rise up, you know, those extended family members who were also on it as well, jumped to go in search of the sister, you know, and there were other men who were saying, oh, we'll go looking next week. I mean, like, really? You know, so we do have a major challenge as women And our major challenge also, and I'll put it out there, is that, safety is important, absolutely important, wherever we are in the world. And as Sis Ishna was saying earlier, especially us as Black women, we're not safe anywhere. And who protects us? Who comes out, to support and defend their Black women? If we go missing, where's our search party that's going to go out and look for us? And so, yes, as African women, we are leading the charge, and we do have to be brave and fearless, in what we do. And we also do, need to be precautious and be responsible. If we're living on our own, out in the bush somewhere, have a dog, have these doorbells, security systems where you can see on your phone if anyone goes into your home. We need to make sure that we're part of an extended family network, that we're checking in with friends and family on a daily basis. So, if anything happens, God forbid, we drop down in the house, we're not on the floor for too long before, people realize that we're missing and maybe in need of support or help, because anybody living on their own. In the UK, I mean, when I go back for the summer in the UK, almost every week it's a 9-night and a funeral, 9-night funeral, 9-night funeral, 9-night. And you know how much people dead in their house? Nobody's there to come and help and assist. So of course you need to be part of an extended network and make sure that you got, if you haven't got a partner, have a dog. They're such great companions, and they'll die for you. They'll look after you. They'll keep you safe, and they'll alert you, and they'll be a good companion. And as I said, with new technology these days as well, there's all sorts of gadgets out there, and we'll have to put some information together, because we do need to talk about safety and security. We're not going to be naive in terms of in that respect, in that regard. But what we're also saying is that we should not allow disconnected incidences and a serious tragedy of a sister destroy an entire movement, because there's a much bigger picture, a movement that's happening right now that we are all part of, that we are pioneering, and we can't lose sight of that. This is a new day. It's a beautiful day. Our beautiful sister who recently transitioned, whose life was tragically taken, played a phenomenal role here in the Gambia. And, she made some major contributions and impact on so many lives, not just in the Gambia, but in the UK as well, where she was coming from. She did some amazing works. And we've got to make sure that while we've got breath, we're doing the best we can, because if there's one thing we know, there's going to be a day when we don't have no breath no more. We don't have a tomorrow. But it's what we do between now and then that's really, really important. And, those who want to support their Black women, talk to Black women, support Black women. Men, your job is to protect us. Your job is to make sure that we're safe. You see Black women on the streets or anywhere, make sure that they're safe, that we're protected, that we're okay. If we're in trouble, be there to help and support. Really, really important. Okay, I've lost my sister Ishna. Hopefully she'll come back and join me. Let's bring in Queen Anne. Queen, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. And I know good news doesn't sell as well as, sensationalism and the like. But I don't think what anyone reported on the fact that there is a community of people that when someone wasn't seen or heard of for a day or two, people went straight into to investigate, to knock doors, to make calls, to share information. And we had this whole, which I think was just a great thing, where the community started to share information. And I think on more than one of these instances, this is how these tragic endings were discovered, because people started to call each other, started to be concerned. And I think that's really great. I think that what that is showing is that there is a community over in Gambia where people are looking out for each other, where people notice if someone hasn't been seen for a day or two, and set about sharing this information. And I think that it's really worked. And this is the good news. This is, this is what we are doing about it. By looking after each other and making sure that each other is safe, So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. And can we say that we had that in the UK? There was a tragic case in the UK where a woman was dead in her house for 3 years. 3 years, and nobody even missed her. Wow, that we've got a very good extended family network here, and that's so important. Absolutely agree with what you said there, sis. Well, I'm just going to quickly go to the chat and read a few messages, and then we'll come back and see if we can get some more comments from those online here. And then we'll probably wrap up on this chat. And so if you've got any questions or any points, put them in the chat, and we'll try and bring in your points. So Marlene, welcome, says we have to be careful who we hang around with anywhere in the world. Don't let anyone feel envious, especially in a poor countries. Treat everyone well. Don't act as if you are better than anyone. Very true and important advice there. Rima says true as well. Travel Tete, welcome. Rising Up Sister Afrijamo in the house. Let's scroll down. Rise Up Sister Afrijamo, reminding people to give us a thumbs up and a like. Yes, please do. Thank you in advance. We got the Jamaica Junker in the house. It's been a little while. He says, and according to what I heard, the person who committed the crime wasn't even Gambian. That is so true. And, I'm glad you actually made that point, the Jamaican grandpa, because when that tragedy happened that involved, an African diaspora woman, the Gambians felt it as much as we did. If you went to the hairdresser shop, they were talking about in the hairdresser shop, they were feeling the hurt. I had calls from Gambian friends, from journalists, and from school teachers and various people I've been connecting with to say how they heard about the incident, how their heart is broken about the incident. They were as hurt about this. They were like, this is just not like Gambians. This is just not like Gambians. Okay, a Gambian might rob you, but they're not going to kill you. They might steal your phone or steal something, but they're not going to kill you. This is what they were saying. And sure enough, it wasn't a Gambian that had committed the crime. It doesn't make the crime any less, any easier to bear. But, a very important point. And thank you for raising that as well. And Blacks GT for Lewis, he says, unfortunately, Africa is not for everyone. That's so true. Eyes Wide Shut said, there is limited discussion of events in Gambia. Perhaps this will change so that Africans get the true picture instead of responding to reports, of the death. Yes, indeed. And that's why, we wanted to share a little bit about our experience living here and tell the other side, because it's so unfortunate when a country's in the news for all the wrong reasons, and especially when there is a lot of misinformation that's part of the news that's going out. Yes, there was a tragic incident. There was that one tragic incident, but I even had to wonder before the incident happened, because it was almost to me as though a climate had been created, an atmosphere has been created to suggest that, there was, like someone said in the chat, a serial killer on the loose or something, when there was no such thing happening at all. These were unconnected incidences, due to ill health at that time. And then, then there was that violent, tragic incident. And so I think someone said, this is what copycat people do, copycat killers do. They hear of other incidences and they think, oh, is this what's going on? And these incidences are unsolved. Maybe I could do it and get away with it. So we have to be careful what we put out there. And Afri-Jamara says, let's talk about the murder and violence in the West. And how about we talk about all of that first as well? Exactly. It's not just happening here at all. Let me quickly look through. So yeah, this is looking really bad for Africans, Americans, with slandering of the Gambia, very serious. Now, how do we look after slandered by our folk? We need to check ourselves and one another. Indeed. Yeah, we get enough slandering, don't we, from the West? We don't really want to be doing that ourselves, tearing down, the African countries ourselves. We need to, put things into context and perspective. Absolutely. Rise up. We've got visitors from Georgia in the USA. Welcome, welcome. Black GT saying, Target Binta, Target. They should feel so ashamed. Enough big ups for truth and righteousness as well. Lissy D is in the house. We cannot go with our own agenda, but find out what the people there want. It's about working together and a mutual goal. Absolutely. And this is it. And Ms. Prosper TT say, we are born spiritual and we live by faith. Absolutely. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. And this body that we have, is only for a limited time. While we're here, we have to take care of it as best we can so that it can carry us to do that which we have been sent here to do. But anytime this body get mashed up, the spirit can't live in it anymore. And so that spirit has to leave the body and leave the mashed up body behind, but while it's working and while it's functioning, let's do what needs to be done for the greater good of our people, wherever we are in the world. And Rahima said, Isna is so on point. Queen Jatta, that's right, the most unprotected in the world. We, as African women, indeed, the most unprotected in the world. And the African superstar, Black women have spoken. Shay. Big up to Sister Isna for bringing her daddy's ashes to the good earth of the motherland. Loving that. This is it. Some of us don't get to reach here physically. So if you have the opportunity, don't be put off at all whatsoever. Come and enjoy some of the motherland for yourself. Let me quickly scroll down a few and see if it's the African superstar. Good luck to all the diasporans trying to make it on the continent. Thank you so much. And, the people are so welcoming and embracing. And what you're saying is so true. We have to, make sure that we embrace our family here and that we're working together in the spirit of oneness and togetherness. And at the same time, have our antennas up and be mindful, that those evildoers will be sent among us wherever we are in the world. We get them everywhere. Let's scroll through. As I'm scrolling through for some more, let's go over and see if Brother Jammers. Let's hear from Brother Jammers before we wrap up. We'll be wrapping up soon. So if you've got any comments, please drop them in the chat. Brother Jammers, any comments on anything that you've heard us discussing so far? We've had some brilliant contributions from you, reminding us that this is a movement, a pioneering movement that's happening right now. Us returning to the continent. There's so much that we can contribute towards the development of the continent. And we're working towards getting ourselves better organized, because we do need to get organized so that we can, channel all of our skills, talents, and efforts into the systems here but will help the systems to function more effectively and efficiently so that progress and development can start to quicken and happen at a faster pace, because we will all benefit, you know, from an improved and more developed continent. Brother Jammers, are you there? Do you want to come live? Do you want to come on front? Okay, let's go around the block. Sis Queen Isna, before you leave, would you like to come back on and leave us with any closing remarks? And
I don't hear me. Okay, I wanted to say this, and it's more like a little small testimony, if I may. Today, I had the opportunity to paint my gate. I put joy, I put peace, I put love, I put light, I put you are loved, and I put God is good. And there was a little girl who walked by and she said, "That is so pretty." I said, "Just like you." I said, "Baby, every time you walk past Auntie Isna's gate, I want you to remember who you are and know that you're loved." Whether people read it, and I said, and whether the people in this community reads English or not, I said, you heard what I just shared with you. I said, spread the word. This is something that we must do. The younger people are the ones that are able to understand us probably a little bit better than probably their parents or their grandmothers. So our connectivity, not knowing the language, we're going to have to reach the youth, but the youth are the one that's going to make the change. And so I'm having dialogue with the youth of this country and reminding them, don't envy what you see in the West, because you have everything here to be your best. And if we get that message to our beloved brothers, and just like the brother said, or whoever was writing in the comments, we don't need to come here to make anyone think that we're coming back and we just got it like that, and we're putting ourselves above above them. We must be able to be relatable in order for people to not want to rob us. And I'm not saying that it's gonna alleviate it, but what I will say is your chances are gonna be less if you connect with them on a very real level. And no, you may not be able to identify with the poverty of this country, but if you've ever lived in the US, and my sister that says she's from Atlanta, and I'll make this real quick, the projects, we were the project. We were the project to see if we come out the maze, if we would be able to amaze those that we did come out. So I think we serve as a testimony to our brothers and sisters here that we understand what poverty is, and maybe not on this exact level, but we understand it from the state's standpoint. And when you're relatable to people and you can come down on the level of not thinking anybody's higher or lower, I believe that's when we'll be able to really connect with our brothers and sisters here and show them what we know, and they can show us what we don't know. And that is the collectivity and the true unity that I think will build all of Africa if we allow ourselves to humble ourselves coming here and not come with this heightened haughtiness, thinking that possibly because we have a higher bank account that we're better. I do not want us to have that projection when we come here with our brothers and sisters. And that's it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, for those closing remarks. I'm sure we'd all agree with everything that you said there and the sentiments behind it as well. A few more comments in the chat and then we'll go back into the group. Thank you, Sister Ishna, for joining us tonight. Let's see what we got. Melanin Trader, thanks to Sisters International and everything that you do. Miss Prosper TT saying true talk, sister, 100%. We've got Ken Gonda in the house. Speak, Goddess Isna, says Travel with Tay. Marley's in the house, loving your work, brother. He's saying to Ken Ganda. We've got the African Superstar in the house. I'm grateful for your platform, sis. Thank you so much. This is international. Be safe and please be careful who you eat from. I think we do everywhere in the world, isn't it? But yes, we overs. The Boss Man. Evening, sister. Didn't know that you stream on Sunday. I missed the first part of your show. I hope you're well. Thank you, Boss Man. This was just a one-off. We may do it again. Who knows? Thank you, Mr. Boss Man. Motivation. Magnetic is saying more power and greatness to Sister Shanice. Rise up. Thank you so much. And let's quickly go through. Wishing us more power and more strength as Black sisters. Sister Afrijamo letting us know that Ghana is very safe. Rise up, Sister Afrijamo. Sister Remus in the house saying exactly, Gambians are doing some crimes, but Gambians complain and are concerned as well about us and Gambians. Absolutely. No country in the world is totally crime-free. We got Lumpua in the house saying, Hotep, my people, just very vexed about my sister. It's important that we must always think security, us African men. Stand up, protect our women. Yes, indeed. Stand up and protect your women. Kodu says, I regret I signed in kind of late. I've been living in the Gambia for 3 years and I feel very safe. Yes, that's so right what you're saying. Gambians were very touched. Rise Up Rima saying Gambians were calling me from everywhere, asking me what was going on. This is it. Gambians, you know, as I said, and as we've all been saying, we're as concerned about our safety and what was going on as much as we were and as you, our family, were in America and in the UK. And, you know, it's really reassuring to know that we have so much love, the love that was being poured on us from Gambians all around. It was a reminder, you know, that not everybody is the same. And you're going to get the bad apple wherever you go. But, you know, as we were saying, security is really important. We're not naive as African women. You know, as African women, we have to look after the children. We have to look after our husbands. We have to look after our family members as African women. You know, we have to be the ones out there, you know, also, but most of us working 3-4 times as hard to make sure that there's food on the table, roof over the heads of our children. You know, we have to do what we can as a people to ensure that, you know, our family is safe. And so we're not naive at all. We understand the risks and we do need the support of our men. We can't do anything at all without our men involved. Kingdom Collectives, rise up. Kingdom Collectives says, you know, things to buy. 1, Ring doorbell. I can highly recommend the Ring doorbell, you know, near to where I am. We've got a neighborhood watch scheme going on. And we all got a picture of someone who was photographed by this Ring doorbell climbing over someone's gate to nick their gas bottle. And Ring doorbell so good, he said to them, I can see you, get off my compound now. I've got your picture and I'll be sending it to the police. And sure enough, that one who climbed over that gate where there was the Ring doorbell has been pictured, and his picture is all around now, and everyone's looking out for him. And there was actually an incident once where there was a burglary, and the burglar had been photographed in action. And their pictures were sent to the police that same night, and the police happened to know them. Before the night was out, they were arrested and all the goods were returned. So these Ring doorbells are brilliant. They capture, you know, people who come into your yard, yeah, and it's recorded electronically, and you know, there you have, you know, the evidence of anyone who has come into your house. So you can have these, you know, cameras by your door in your house, and it will capture the movement of intruders. And you can watch your house for wherever you are in the world as well. So I highly recommend it. And Kingdom Collective says it connects to your phone and you see the people who come to the door. Guard dogs also really good as well. It's great to have guard dogs. Make sure they're well trained, you know, and then they will protect you and they will deter people from coming in the house, because nobody gonna want jump over your gate if you've got a dog around there and risk getting nyam up, you know. So they'll keep you safe as well. And as I said earlier, they're a great companion to have. I wasn't one for dogs, I tell you. My partner wanted a dog. I said, "Dog, I don't want a dog. We never want a dog." But I tell you, we've got one now, and this dog is part of the family. And clever, you see. But yeah, I'll tell you, he is just amazing. Every dog and every animal has a personality. In fact, where we were today at Lamin Lodge, there were some monkeys around, and they were just waiting for us to turn our head. And as soon as you turn your head, then come and see what them can grab and take and run. And every one of those creatures had a personality of their own. And dogs have got beautiful personalities as well. And they will protect you and they will act as a deterrent. And of course, be part of the community as well. You know, WhatsApp groups, absolutely agree. And also in the physical as well, be part of an extended family network. You know, we do have to be precautious wherever we are in the world. And I Am Phenomenal says, one question, whether there is more to the story as there was outstanding land disputes, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, we won't comment on that, don't know about that. Rima, learn our neighbors, even the folk there from Sierra Leone and Guinea and Nigeria and Liberia. First learn ourselves, then we got this. Learn our neighbors. Yeah, okay. So many more comments. I want to thank you all so much for your comments and for your contributions to the discussion. Elaine Leslie says, and I think it's a good one to leave on, I feel very safe in Ghana after living here for nearly 4 years. There you go. You know, you can live anywhere, family, but just make sure wherever you are that, you know, you take the necessary precautions and due diligence. You don't go, you know, flaunting whatever and go on like Wally and all the rest of it, and people around you maybe don't have. You just totally disrespectful, irresponsible, and a pathetic way to behave anyway. You know, those of us that are coming, the vast majority of us, we're coming to give. We're coming to give of our substances. We're coming to give of ourselves. We're coming to do charitable work. You know, most of us, we want to see the country developed and we want to work towards the development of the country. And we're not even looking to do it for a financial reward. You know, most of us and all of us, we've saved our own money to come to Africa. We're using our own money to live here, and we're using our own time to contribute towards the development of Africa. And so, you know, it is a movement. It's a pioneering movement, as Brother Jammers has said. And let's not be under any illusion about those who would want to try and sabotage this move. So we do need to be mindful, do need to be careful, not blow things out of proportion, because, you know, crime happens everywhere in the world. And, you know, it's tragic wherever it happens, whenever it happens. And when it happens to someone that, you know, it tears you to pieces, you know, but at the same time, you know, we have to also remember, and in the memory of those that have gone, that, you know, we're going to continue doing the works. And in terms of the recent tragedies that we've had, or losses that we've had here in the Gambia, they've all been totally unconnected. And those of us here, most of us are very aware of the circumstances concerning each of those individuals. And for the first 4, nothing suspicious whatsoever, all separate individual health-related issue. And, you know, it just didn't help that there was all this speculation and misinformation. And then here we have, you know, a real tragedy and a very untimely death to have to deal with the families and the loved ones to have to deal with. And so, you know, let's be responsible, family, in our reporting, in our speculating. Let's take responsibility. I know, you know, we are acting in the interest, or, you know, we believe we're acting in good faith and in the interest of our loved ones, you know, but we do need to think of our strategy. So, can we get a list of where to get these safety items? Yes, let's make a list for newbies. Yes, indeed. We're going to have to come together here in the Gambia as Black women, as African women, and we're certainly going to have to put our safety list together. Let's see if Queen Anne has any closing remarks before we go. Queen Anne, you're still with us. Queen Binta,
Hi.
sorry.
Oh, yes, two things that I would like to say before I go is that I'm a cautious person. I was cautious when I lived in the UK, and I continue to be cautious whilst I live here. That's just how I am. But in saying that, I went back to the UK, was there for a few months, and I walked the streets. I didn't see not one person I knew. And here I am, living in the village in Gambia. And as I leave my door to go out, I'm always greeted by my neighbors. You know, and it's just a joy. And there used to be a program called Cheers, American comedy, where they would talk. They spoke about a place where everybody knows your name, and that gives you a sense of belonging. And I do have that sense of belonging here, in my community, amongst my neighbors, and yeah, and I feel safe amongst them as well. All right then, so everybody take care.
Thank you so much, Queen. And let's close out. We've got Amina who says, Sister Shanice, I admire your commitment in uniting Black people all over the world. May the Most High continue to bless your journey here in the Gambia. Yes, let's allow ourselves to unite. Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, as I said, we did lose a sister tragically recently, and we did lose some friends of ours as well due to ill health. And we want to send out our sincere condolences to the families, the loved ones, and all those that were close to those that we lost. You know, it's our loss as well. And it's a great loss to our community and to the works that we're doing here in the Gambia as well. So our sincere condolences to the family and those close to those who lost their lives. Thank you, Queen Binta. Definitely testify to that being a wonderful community. I'm going to share a little something. Queen, do you think I should share a picture or two of today in the Gambia? Queen Binta? Got a couple of pictures here. I'll just spread it out. Family in the chat. Do you want to see how we spent our Sunday today? Do you want to see a couple of pictures? Melanie saying, great show, Sister Shanice. Thank you. Paul saying, Gambia is a safe place as any other country. Yes. And Africa. Yes. Rest in sweet peace. Yes. To our beautiful Queen Africa as well. Well, yeah, we had a boat trip today. We went on a boat cruise down the Gambia River, something we do about once a month on a Sunday. So opportunity for us to all come together. And we always have such a beautiful, wonderful, wonderful time. It's a great way to recharge our batteries, you know, just soak up the Gambian sunshine, just soak up the energy. Legacy safely share to soak up, you know, a bit of the Gambia. And yes, Jay, it'd be good to have you back here as well. So can't wait to get back there. And, you know, there's just nothing like it. in the UK. There isn't anything like it in most of the Western countries. And so, you know, I just love the Gambia, and I just love Africa. Kingdom Collective say, you're teasing us. Show us. You sure you want to see? Okay, let's see if I can share screen and just give you a little picture of today. This was earlier today. So here we were on the Gambia River, some of us today. So here we go. Yes, we love you indeed, Gambia. So that was us today. You know, we went on a little boat cruise, and it was beautiful. It was our boat behind us, about 35 of us, and we had an amazing day today, just cruising along. Some of us were playing Ludo on the boat. Some of us were dancing to some music. Some of us were just socializing and networking and talking. There were 3 people who had birthdays today as well. And it's wonderful to be able to, you know, celebrate the birthday of some of our loved ones as well, because none of us knows what tomorrow may bring. And so we do have to make the most of today. Every day is important. So, Brother Jammers, I want to thank you so much for your contribution to the live today. Queen Ishna, thank you so much. Queen Binta, we thank you. Queen Gabby, we thank you so much. To all of our viewers, thank you so much. To each and every one of you who contributed in the talk and participated by giving us a thumbs up, we thank you so much. And we'll do it again one Sunday, okay? We're definitely looking to doing it again. So more strength, more power. Have a wonderful, strong, some say weak, we say strong. Have a wonderful, strong, and make sure that you do something to contribute towards the growth, the development, and the upliftment to yourself, your family, your community, and your nation. Okay, each of us have a role to make sure that we develop and empower ourselves and our family, not just ourselves, and not just our family, but also our community and our nation. Because if you rise, I rise, and if I rise, you rise. So let's rise together, family. Let's rise, and please do give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Sister Shanice, and our wonderful guest,